what we're talking about today is career agility in the AI era, and this is going to be the low tech. I had originally decided it was going to be low tech or analog, and then I wanted to add a couple of slides, but the technology gods did not want me to do that. So it's going to be completely just without me in any slides, and I will have one thing to say. But so it is going to be a bit different. I'm going to welcome and invite you to put aside any distractions. If you are driving or operating other machinery while you're doing this, you may want to watch the replay and catch the replay, which will be on YouTube. For some reason, Facebook's not working these days, but it will be replayed on YouTube because there are going to be 3 tips here to help with your any AI overwhelm or what your emotions are around AI. So they may be things that you might want to have a look at later on when you can be as present as possible for this. And so I just want to make an acknowledgement, invite you to, if it's available for you and something that you want to do. Where I live, work, and play is on the unceded territories of the Kikite First Nations. And to share with you a brief story about one of my clients who I was working with and was finding that he had a lot of career overwhelm in terms of career anxiety in his business as a web developer and his consultancy, and was finding that the talk therapy and other techniques that we were doing was not all fully available to him in what we were doing. So we went into some of what I call some of these more experiential modalities and helped him to regulate his emotions and get more awareness and feel a bit better in terms of what he could do for the what was happening in his life and career, and feel better. And I just was a bit distracted there because I saw a message that apparently Facebook Live is working. So welcome to people on Facebook as well. In any case, coming back, talking about distractions. So coming back to my client, when we use all of these modalities that I'm going to be sharing with you, and they're 3 tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them, to help you feel more confident about the AI and technology, and to help you have more career agility. And I'll speak to that in a little moment. But through these, he had a menu of things that we designed for him. And as I said, I'll share more about that with you. But he was able to move through and feel more confident in terms of his career, including AI and how he's utilizing AI and leveraging that in his work as a web designer and a web developer as well. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Newton. I'm a career coach based in Vancouver, Canada, on the west coast of Canada. And I did my own career pivot over 2 decades ago, going from what I feel was over 2 decades of wandering the vocational desert into my career oasis. And so what I do now is help clients to be unapologetically them in their career overwhelm, and to help them get out of that and create positive change, find their career superpowers, and enable them to really feel unapologetically them in their careers as well. And so my hope is that what I'm offering you here will give you some confidence to be able to do that in your own careers, whether it's with me or if you find someone else to support you, or if you're able to do it on your own. I wasn't able to do it on my own and needed some help in the end, but here I am doing it with you and for you. And a little bit of housekeeping: if you would like to put any questions in, there's a questions tab to the right of your screen that you'll have a look at. And if I don't get to the questions in the half hour that I have, I will add some time and you can watch it in the replay if you need to go right at the half hour, or I can cover any questions afterwards if they come into me, and I'll drop them into my YouTube channel, also on my website. And I spoke a moment ago about any distractions, because we are actually going to be doing some practices today and taking what I call the analog approach. So we're not going to be doing, those of you who have been following me and know how I usually work is I have a PowerPoint and we go through that. But this is going to be more about an experience that I'm taking you through for this conversation, and a little bit of, and some information to help you with the concept of career agility and AI as well. The agenda will be that we'll start with an intention and talk about the topic of career agility in the AI era. And then I'll be going through 3 practices, and they're going to be the ABCs practices, and I'll give those to you shortly. But each of them stands for, there's A, there's B, and there's C. So that'll be to help you promote openness, flexibility, and adaptability, and basically how to cultivate career agility for yourself in the AI era, and just in terms of technology as well. And so the first of those will be an attention practice called Hakalao. The second will be breathing, a Qigong practice called spinal cord breathing. And the third is going to be a centeredness practice based on journaling, or it's a journaling practice actually, and then bringing that all together for you. So let's get started. And I'm going to invite you just to take a moment, and I'll pause here and set an intention for this time that you've set aside for yourself to be here, and what you'd like to focus on, what you would like to get as the best possible outcome of our time together. And I'll just give you a few moments to write something down. Okay, I know that wasn't a lot of moments, but hopefully you wrote something down that you can be coming to later on. And so just a brief touch into what I am meaning by the concept of career agility. If you think of the idea of physical agility, then that is typically flexibility, adaptability. It's being able to pivot and change and move quickly and easily. And so bringing that idea of how can you have that sort of flexibility and adaptability into your career, and in particular, how can you be now leveraging AI and adding to that, to add to that career agility. So that's going to be the topic of the conversation for us today, and what I'm going to be sharing in terms of some practices to help with that. And for the intentions of that, the first one will be the first of the 3 will be, as I said, the Hakalao, which is an attention practice. The second, breathing, which is spinal cord breathing, and that's a Qigong practice. It's a physical practice. And then the third one will be to help us center and ground. And so they're the ABCs, if you didn't pick that up already. And so let's just start here. And I'm going to, the one thing that I managed to do is take a picture this morning when I was on my walk with my lovely dog that I am looking after, Jean-Luc, this week. And I'm just going to share my screen here and offer for you, if you would like, if you're wanting to focus, use this as a focus, or you might find a spot in front of you to have a look at. And you may wish, I'm actually going to, let me see if I can turn off my video so you're actually focusing on, oh, there's still a picture of me, but at least I'm not moving. So, I'm going to invite you to focus and look ahead. This is a Hakalao practice. It's an ancient mindfulness practice from Hawaii. And I'm going to invite you to look forward and look at the flower as your point of focus, or maybe you've got your own picture in front of you might want to focus on with a soft gaze, or even looking just above your eye line at the wall in front of you. So a choice of whatever spot, whatever you want to focus on, looking in front of you. And then I'm going to invite you now to just bring attention gently to your breath. You're not trying to change your breath. You're just going to become aware of your breath. And your breath and my voice can be something for you to focus and anchor on in this practice. It's only going to be 2 or 3 minutes for this brief Hack Aloud practice. And any thoughts, feelings, anything else that's coming up, that can also become part of your practice. But for now, just following your breath, becoming aware of that, and hearing the sound of my voice. And now keeping your eyes forward, looking at your point of focus. And I'm going to ask you, as you keep your eyes forward, and now bring your attention to your right. And you may even want to lift your arm up to the right without looking at it though. So your gaze is still forward at whatever you're focused on, whether it's a flower or the wall. And you may even notice, you can see through from your peripheral vision, you can notice your hand to your right. And now gently bringing that down if you have raised your arm. And now taking your attention to the left side and choosing if you want to lift your left arm up and bring attention to that. And still again, keeping your gaze forward. So your attention to your left, your gaze is forward, and bringing your arm down if that left arm is down. And now I'm going to invite you to bring your attention up above your head about a foot, and even farther than that. And if you want, you're also welcome to raise your arms up and have your hands extended above gently, not with any pressure or trying, and bring that up above your head. Bring your hands up above your head if you choose, some gentle movement there. Or at least your attention and your gaze is still forward. And now just softly bringing that down if your arms are raised. And now your attention will go down. If you're seated, it'll be in your lap. If you're standing, to the ground or the floor, or even beyond your lap, even if you're seated, to the floor. And just have you bring your attention to the floor there. And coming up and back, pulling your attention in and focusing forward again. And now just take a moment and imagine that your attention is all around the room in a 180 or even a 360. So you're still looking forward, but you're noticing everything around you. And even with that beautiful imagination of yours going backwards, as if you almost had eyes in the back of your head, that expansiveness. And when you're ready from this state, wherever you are, I'm going to invite you to soften your gaze and lower it, or even close your eyes. And in this place, just see what comes up. Notice what is happening for you. And from here, wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, it's all welcome. There's no right or wrong. I'm going to have you consider the idea of career agility or even life agility. And now add into that the idea of what you know about AI. Maybe you don't know anything about AI, and that's part of it. So just see what happens when you bring in career agility and AI into the mix. And now I'm going to invite you to release that and let that go. And when you're ready, to take 3 deeper breaths. And if your eyes are closed, very softly and gently casting your gaze down and opening your eyes. And then softly looking around the room. And I'm going to turn my camera back on now and stop sharing. And so that's the practice of Hakalau. And I'm going to go through these 3 practices with you, and then I'm going to offer to you how they might be used in terms of the concept of career agility and as a tool to help you feel more confident and at ease. So now another very brief, this is more of a movement that we're going to do together, and it's Qigong. It's called spinal cord breathing. And I'll just show you the movement, and then I'm going to invite you to follow me along if it's available for you, or if you don't want to do the movement, you can just watch me and I can be doing it by proxy for you. So we're going to start here with our arms up and our chin slightly raised and looking up. We're going to breathe in and bend, a soft back bend, and then like curling forward. So our spine now curls forward, and we bring our elbows together, and what it looks like from the side profile is not too far back, but then also like bringing your arms forward and then your elbows forward and into a curl. For those of you who know yoga, it's kind of like a vertical cat. And so I'll invite you, let's do 3 of those together. So breathing in and nothing to the point of pain, but then a slight back bend, and then curling forward and even curling your hips and your pelvis forward. So you're in a curl here. And I'm going to turn, you don't have to. So we're breathing in a second time, expanding and feeling our shoulder blades come together. And then we're going to curl forward and curl our shoulders forward and just feel that movement, that flexibility in our spine. And exhale here. And then the last breath in, looking up, gently up, chin up. And then exhaling here to exhale the last breath there. And so now we've done spinal cord breathing and just inviting you, whatever is you're feeling from that, if that is like another movement that I'm offering you. And Qigong is one of my trainings, and Qigong, Qi is Chinese for energy or life force, and Gung is for work or practice or cultivation. So really you're cultivating energy when you're doing Qigong. And then finally, I forgot to ask you at the beginning, invite you if you could, if you've got something to write on, or if you are a journaler, if you've got your journal handy. And if this isn't available to you, or you just have something digital to write on, that's okay too. Or just use it as something to consider. There's no have to here. I'm just offering you the idea of journaling this down. And I'm just going to give you 1 minute in a moment. And the prompt here is, if I am curious about AI, then. So I'm going to say that again more slowly so you can actually write it down. If I am curious about AI or artificial intelligence, then. And then after then is just ... And I'm going to give you a minute in a couple of seconds, and just whatever comes up, it's just like, it could be, I don't know anything, or I'm not curious, or, I'm excited, or, I want to know more. So whatever comes up for you, it could be a feeling, could be a thought, it could be something completely unrelated. So I'm just going to be silent for a moment, and I'm going to consider too if I'm curious about AI then. And I'll just give you a minute here. And so whatever comes up is welcome. Got 10 seconds left. And just writing whatever comes up. And even if it's like, I don't know what to write, that could be something too. And I'll just invite you to finish whatever's you've got here as we close this part, which is the centeredness or the journaling practice of our 3 modalities today. And if you're watching the replay, or if you want for the first time, or you're going back and watching it, you might even want to pause here and take some more time. But that was just to give you a taste of one of these ideas, one of these tips and tricks to help you feel more confident in terms of in the AI era, what's happening, what's coming up for you, and for you to be more flexible in your career. And so the reason that I wanted to show these 3 tips and tricks for you is because earlier I told you about my client who was having a hard time and wasn't feeling like he was getting anywhere with just the regular talk therapy or the coaching that I was giving him. So we brought in these practices for him, and I've offered you 3 here. And what we did with him is we created a menu, and so we ended up with 5 or 6 that he could choose to do one of these a day. And the commitment he made is like, okay, so once a day for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and I'm going to practice one of these. And in what he did is he was able to cultivate a better sense of confidence for himself, and then to also be able to use that to help him feel at greater ease with what was going on in his life and career, and in particular with the, as I said, the role that he was doing with how AI was starting to influence his work. And my hope to you is that one of these or all of these might be helpful for you to be curious and cultivate that. And the idea, we did these what I call the human technology to help you tap into your own inner wisdom, and it's to help you identify and then regulate your emotions around your AI and being more flexible in your career, having more career agility in general. And then also with practice like Hakalao as an example of giving you that greater perspective and the peripheral vision, and allowing you to also tap more into your subconscious and what's coming up for you, is being able to help you cultivate the growth mindset. And so if there's any similar practices that you do of that, but that's what I offered as the Hakalao example. And then with the journaling, it's just like writing down and having so grounding practice that can help center you, so you can use that and explore what your relationship is with your career, with uh, the emerging technology of artificial intelligence, AI, in the career landscape, and just to be curious about that and to be writing it down and seeing what comes up. And if there's a lot of negativity coming up, it's just like, oh, okay, what does that mean? Are there any patterns that come up for me when I'm scared of something? Do I feel like I'm contracting? And that contraction may also be something that you notice when you're looking at your if you're doing the Hakalao practice, and then you bring in the thought of AI, and you might find, oh, I'm expanding my peripheral vision, expanding my experience. That's exciting to me. Or, oh, I'm considering AI and I'm feeling more tunnel vision and more focus. And so that's an indication that I'm in a place of fear. And so do I want to do something about it? What can I do about it? And so these practices are 3 tips and tricks that I'm offering you to help you have more comfort, ease, and confidence in this AI era, and also the idea of how you can utilize that to be more flexible and have more opportunities open to you and more possibilities to help you thrive in your career, in your life, in your business. And so my hope is that you can utilize some of these human technologies to help you feel more confident and more open and feel a greater sense of ease and less stress and less anxiety in regards to AI and and artificial intelligence. So I don't see any questions that have come here, and I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here, whether you're here live for my members and my guests, or if you're tuning in later. If you've got any questions, let me know. The resources will be available in the portal for our members, and they'll be available for you in the next week or so. There's of course the recording and the transcription, and then I'll give you some extra information about each of those three from the ABCs we did today to help you in terms of career agility and in the AI era. And so that was the attention practice, the breathing, which is a spinal cord breathing, and then the centered practice, which was the journaling, and some more information about that to help you. And if anybody is interested in any of those topics, and you can go back, and I've got some information on my website, also on my YouTube channel. And if would like me to do more this style, which is less with the PowerPoint and more open, then let me know, or just offering me feedback would be really helpful. And that information is on my website as well. I don't have that slide up because my slides wouldn't come in today. So, but I wish you all very well, and I look forward to seeing my mastermind members tomorrow for our monthly Zoom meeting that we'll have, and then I'll see the rest of you next month for the continuation of our ABCs to work your dream. And thank you everyone again. Take care and have a wonderful day.